Welcome, one and all, to another Jordan, Jules, and Just Minute. I am Squire Jordan.
I am Princess Jules.
And welcome back. Hey guys, it's been real. This is the last Jordan and Jules and Just Reddit of season 1.
Happy April Fools! Well, for us, it's almost April Fools, so 'tis the season.
Actually, this comes out a week, like 2 weeks after April Fools.
I know, 'tis the season. I said around April Fools.
Real
time. Jordan Jules Just Reddit. Real time. It's almost April Fools right now.
But seriously, this is the end of season 1. Season 2 is going to pick up next week.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be no stopping. I just want to like start categorizing these. Even
we
then,
grind till we die.
I probably won't even do that anyway. So
No, we have to
potential
do season
season 1 finale. Maybe next episode. Maybe.
What are we thinking for a season finale, Jordan?
I don't know.
Something extravagant?
Maybe something like, "Am I the devil?" This is a little. I don't have any of the information of it pulled up. Reddit. Who else goes on Reddit over here? I do. Am I the Devil? A place where it's obvious OP is the butthole. Created November 4th, 2019. Public 407,000
followers.
Here, you just texting Jules.
Okay, Cookie Crusher.
We're in the middle of a show.
Okay, Cookie Crusher. Yeah.
Everybody point and laugh. It's called Cookie Clicker, not Cookie Crusher. Ooh.
See? This is what he was doing the whole time
Wait.
last episode.
This is good. I gotta.
I'm texting the person I was texting now.
This is good. I got a double cookie frenzy going on it, and I'm making 10 times a bagillion more cookies than I normally do. Okay, now it's over. I just popped a wrinkler.
Ew, what does that even mean?
I popped a wrinkler. Kids don't look that up.
I understand you.
Anywho, we got some great stories cooking for y'all's good lookins. Isn't that right, Jules?
That is right.
Jules, how are you this week? Sorry
Honestly,
to blindside you with that question. It looks like you were taken aback.
I'm as good as I was last week.
Cool.
How are you doing, Jordan?
My head hurts after laughing like that.
Good.
Sounded like I was trying to start a car. Anyhow, Jules, I went first last week. Please take the lead.
Did
And
you?
yeah, I read the first story, and I read a lot of stories last week. I hope you all enjoyed my angelic voice.
That's right.
Please, Jules, please.
Now, we're getting real.
Real.
This was posted by, and this might be kind of sensitive to some people. I don't know.
Potential warnings.
Yeah. I don't know what for. Animal death? Although, there's already death. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. Copyright strikes. Am I right, guys?
/can I pet that dog 666. Can I pet that dog?
Oh, dog. I thought you said Duke. Like, someone's trying to pet a Duke. What you doing?
It is Reddit.
Drop it off in the toilet and turn around. Go, come here, little guy.
Yo, wait. Side note, I just found out a couple months ago that dropping the kids off to the pool and taking their poop.
What about the Browns are going to the Super Bowl?
It's not funny, but it is.
Taking the kids to the beach?
Oh my god. Okay. And honestly, like, looking for these, I just found out that a lot of these are just reposted Am I the or Am I the Buttholes. So, it's basically that, but just like the worst of the worst.
Fine-tuned. As the description of the Reddit actually says, it is the place where it's obvious that OP is the butthole. So, no need for scoring.
Maybe we're gonna...
But we're gonna score anyway.
Sorry, yawn.
Sorry.
Comment down below if I made you yawn.
Yeah, comment down below whose yawn was better, Jules' yawn or my yawn.
It's not a competition.
But I won. Anywho, yeah, rating. We'll see if Jordan gives it out of 5 out of 5. Anyway, please continue. Can I pet that Duke?
Would I be the butthole if I dug up my father-in-law's dearly departed dog and sent the bones back to him piece by piece?
Yes.
Just flat out, yes.
Yes.
Okay, this sounds insane, and I'm okay with that. Let me set the stage for why I believe such an extreme measure is needed for this situation. My father-in-law asked to borrow my car for what was supposed to be a 5-minute trip back to the gas station. He didn't come back. Hours passed and no calls or texts are being answered. We had a pretty good idea that he had driven to a city 30 minutes away for some illegal extracurricular activities, as this was his MO before he came to live with us and committed to months of sober living. I called the cops the next morning, reported it stolen, and pressed charges. The police set to work tracking my car through the traffic lights, and about 9 hours after I reported it, they found him. Cops called me, and I hurried to meet them at the location of my car. There, I was told by officers that he was pulled over, turning onto a well-known high-traffic neighborhood for all of his favorite extracurriculars. The cops found a laundry list of debauchery in the back seat of my car that I drive my 4 children to and from in. There was a hooker in the front seat with him, and strewn across the back seat was Fenty, crack, paraphernalia, condoms, and the hooker's feminine hygiene products. Both were arrested, her on warrants related to her career, and him on charges I had pressed on him that day, and the ones he incurred from the findings in the car. He spent the weekend in jail, and I had to deep clean my car so my kids didn't get an STD or accidentally overdose from sitting on the seats.
Oh my God.
He called my brother-in-law, and on speaker with my husband, and there he said, "Can't believe I had to spend the weekend in jail because of unreasonable people." Unreasonable, The icing on the cake was the next text from my sister-in-law sent to my husband, stating, "I can't believe you let your woman send dad to jail. You know he's never stolen anyone's car." He let me press charges? Oh, no. He didn't let me do a damn thing. I do what I damn well please. He endangered my kids. I disrespected my husband. He endangered my kids, disrespected my husband and I, and caused destruction to my property that wasn't his. And now is running his mouth that I'm unreasonable and pulling other family into this to shame me. Well, it has me thinking that I should actually be unreasonable. Last spring, he put his dearly departed dog to rest in a 4x6 hand-built Home Depot coffin. I'm thinking I don't want any reminders of this man tainting my property any longer. I also think he would appreciate having access to his dear old friend again. For mourning purposes, considering he's trespassed from my property and can't visit the grave. To me, it seems perfectly reasonable that he'd miss his best friend and want him back. And sending it to him all at once would be expensive shipping, of course. So piece by piece is more economically feasible in the long run. Tell me, would I be the a-hole? Edit. To those who reported this post for physical harm or violence, let me just say the appeal system on here and the Reddit admins are fabulous at reviewing and making the right decision based on rules. Because ban lifted and post restored. Thank you.
Damn.
Second edit. Adding pictures of the 4x6 hand-built coffin the day it was constructed, since this seems to be a big reason people think the whole thing is made up. Purposefully didn't post the one of the dog in it because that'd be way too much. Well, at least they have standards. This is the 4x6 coffin, since Jordan doesn't like putting in photos.
Oh my God.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. That's both. They're both messed up.
Yeah, they're both really messed up. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is really... The father just sounds like a druggie, but...
I don't think I can even give them scores. Like, that's just... That's like so... Like, they could have gone any direction.
I'm looking for a word.
Like, there was... The lines right here. Both of them are like... Way
all
over.
The way.
Yeah. Also, God damn, it is hot as hell in here. Not to expose myself on Jordan.
It ain't that hot.
But it is just so, I'm so tensed up from these extreme stories. Yeah, I can't give a score. They are both the butthole.
I just don't understand how that would even like come into someone's brain to do that.
You gotta be psychologically
damaged.
messed up. Yeah, psychologically damaged. For your first instinct to go find the dog, bone by bone. Like, did you not grow up with that dog? Like what's the relationship between you and the dog? I know it's the father's dog, but like... Father-in-law's dog, but like, what's the relationship between OP and the dog? Like, were you close to the dog? Did you like the dog? Did you hate the dog or something? What's the dog doing? Why'd you bring the dog in?
At least they didn't put in the photo with the dog in the coffin. Because that would be too much.
That would have been sad. Yeah. Yeah, they're both the buttholes. I'm not even giving a score. That's not even like... Intensity is too intense for the scale.
Both messed up.
Yes.
Broke the scale.
Yeah, broke the scale. First broke the scale in Jordan and Jules history. All right. This was posted by icy_bike6317. Am I the butthole for refusing pancakes my friend's girlfriend made? Oh, this is already confirmed the butthole. I, 24 female, am back in my hometown on a week-long trip for my father's 50th birthday. It's a big milestone birthday for him, and I haven't had much time for my family or friends growing up since moving to the East Coast. Last night, I met up with a few of my friends from high school who are still hanging around the area. We hit up a few bars together. Generally, it was an okay time. Not really my type of place anymore, but it was nice to see my best friend, 25 male, who I grew up with. He's still amazing. As the day we separated, we all got a little drunk on crappy beers, and he offered to let me come home with him and crash instead of going home to my folks drunk at midnight. I want it to be known that I appreciate this. The last thing I need was my mom getting up to nag me about going out on a Tuesday. We got back to his place and his girlfriend was still up. She was cold and standoffish when we got in, which made me super uncomfortable. I just wanted to go to bed, but we all also had a minor disagreement on where I'd be sleeping. Eventually, I compromised on that, and my bestie, oh my gosh, talked her into making us something to eat. Jesus Christ. Here's the big problem. I was raised to be gracious even if your host is not. I was trying hard to follow those rules. She ended up agreeing to make us pancakes. I wasn't wild about the idea of considering I limit my sugar intake to almost 0, but I kept my mouth shut at the time. I would have had continued to keep my mouth shut, but watching her make them was too much. She put white sugar in the batter, then added blueberries for additional sugar, and then buttered the pan because F it, we apparently don't care about that crap here. She continued to butter the pan again every few pancakes. I suggest that maybe non-stick fat-free cooking spray would be better, but she pretended to not hear me. The real killer was a syrup, maple-flavored corn syrup. So yummy. I didn't want to eat dry pancakes, even though they were probably already overwhelmingly sweet, and I politely asked her if they had maybe had some ingredients for me to make a smoothie instead. At this point, she got incredibly angry and told me to eat them or not, and then threw the pan into the sink. It was so childish that I couldn't believe it. Go off, girl. Go ahead. Throw your tantrum, because I'd like the alternative to your gross food. I ended up having to take an Uber home in the middle of the night because they started to fight. Now I'm sitting home, sobering up, wondering if I should have politely nibbled on the corner of one and gone to bed. F me for wanting a smoothie, right? Am I the butthole?
I just thought this one was funny and sounded like AmITheDevil.
I know. The top comment is, you are the butthole. Gracious, where? She made you pancakes. She's not a kitchen wench for hire. She wasn't prepared for a guest, let alone a judgy drunk one. If you wanted a smoothie, order one on Uber Eats or something. Everything she did to make blueberry pancakes was totally normal, and she used the ingredients she had at hand.
I mean, that does sound like pancakes, like from any American diet.
If you didn't want a pancake, you could have just said no thanks and gone to bed.
No, for real. I mean, granted, okay, the way that he's typing this, I feel like he's...
She? I, 24 female.
Oh,
I will say the only thing that struck me weird was adding in sugar to the pancake batter.
Is that not a thing?
I don't. I do the box. So whatever's in the box.
Maybe she made it from scratch.
Probably. It doesn't say. But still, even then, I get the idea about the sugar, but like, she wasn't expecting you. Not that she was forced to cook something, but she was forced to cook something like, yeah, I'd give you like a 3 out of 5 being an inconvenience.
No, for real. Or worst comes worst, say you're allergic to something in the batter. Say you have a butter intolerance.
Yeah. Or speak up when they were deciding what to make.
Right.
Could have just said your smoothie then instead of waiting and watching.
I highly doubt she just looked at you and was like, I'm making you pancakes.
Yeah.
You're getting pancakes.
Especially if she was already hesitant because you just bombarded into their house.
Yeah.
But yeah, OP, 3 out of 5. Girlfriend, 1 out of 5. Best friend, 2 out of 5.
Slay.
Kind of hit all 3.
Second that.
All right, Jules, what you got for us?
Let's see. And this was posted by acrobatic_stop_9843. And the title of this is, Am I the asshole for wanting my mother to not be the center of attention at our wedding? Give you context. I'm an only child. My folks divorced when I was 5. It was my mother. My mother and I only. My father didn't fight for custody. Too much there to go into right now. Okay, bottom line here is she's selfish. Things are always about her, and if they aren't, she won't pay attention to them. We've had full conversations about things in her presence, and since they weren't about her, she didn't pay attention. If we bring it up later, she'll play the victim and say that she didn't hear that story or that information, etc. She broke her first bone in her right foot during the pandemic. Was in the hospital. Then a couple care homes because she couldn't care for herself, and the home she lives in is only a 1-bedroom place. I have a full-time job and couldn't dedicate all that time she needed to watch and care for her. Now, we did visit her as much as possible. During the pandemic, it was limited times and the amount of people that she could have per day in the room. We all called her every day. Her being in the care facility caused her to run out of money. In parentheses, she's been retired for years now and had stocks and her retirement fund. She still gets the retirement fund monthly. Her stocks ran dry. My father found, in parentheses, by me and my my now fiance, deceased, in parentheses, on his upstairs bathroom floor from a heart attack in 2019. Jesus. Poor dad. She took it about as hard as expected. I had to deal with that. Weren't they divorced though?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I had to deal with that. Sold the condo we had. Now I'm using the money to pay for her monthly rent, along with the bills that come up and I can't cover. In parentheses, her bills and ours. I had planned on using some of that money for the wedding. My fiance had noticed her behavior and calls her out on it when she acts like a baby. Since her broken bone, she had been wheelchair bound by her own laziness. Wait, by her own laziness? She's got a broken bone.
Just because you have a broken bone doesn't mean you don't stop moving.
That's very true.
You can keep moving with a broken bone.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
She claims her knees are bone and is afraid to have the surgery, but she is also highly overweight and won't do anything to change it. My fiance's mother is having her second knee replacement surgery soon. The only issue is she had our slight tightness in the leg above the knee. She is in a much healthier size and situation than my mom. On to the issue. My fiance is afraid, in parentheses, concerned that at our wedding, my mother will still be in the wheelchair, in parentheses, even though she is capable of walking short distances and using one of the 2 walkers she has, and make herself the center of attention. He doesn't want her to make take the attention away from me. I don't like the attention but for this, I can understand where he's coming from. He wants to require, in parentheses, request, for her to be out of her wheelchair for the ceremony. She can sit in one of the many comfy chairs that will be provided. I'm in agreement with him, but I have also brought it up to her in passing, and she has said, "Well, then I guess I won't be going." Just wow. I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for not wanting my mother to upstage me at our wedding?
They added in a lot of unnecessary details.
And that's what makes me think that they are the butthole.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes, they are the butthole, just because that wasn't a clear, concise story. That was, That reminded me of like a Family Guy episode where whenever you mentioned something, you had to put in parentheses where or who or how it was involved. Like that was too confusing.
Okay, bottom line, your mother might be selfish. You might have your quarrels with her. She doesn't listen to you. Whatever, that's fine. But it sounds like because it's stated here that like the reason that like even though you said you can still walk with a broken bone, obviously, but it's sounding like she's in pain. Like she feels like her knees are bone and bone. So,
yeah.
And the husband was just like, you can walk short distances, and said that she can use her cane or her
Maybe
walker.
It's the husband.
And it sounds like he's the one who initiated this, actually.
Yeah, I think the husband is the butthole in this story, and I think you two are. I'm going back on what I said. Husband is the butthole, and then the two of them are just collateral.
You just sound very inconsiderate and inhumane here.
Yeah.
Come across. Wow.
That was just rough.
And you can use your walkers.
I was trying hard to follow along, but I'm serious.
So was I.
They added in way too much stuff.
I want to know what the top comment is. You're the asshole. Her using a mobility device will not upstage you. It's not like she's trying to wheel down the aisle.
I know, a bedazzled wheelchair.
Oh my god, yes.
All right. This is from Throw RA-11234. Major trigger warning. You've been warned now. This is the warning that has warned you to be warned. Too long didn't read. I aggressively hugged my younger sister's friend during college.
No.
Not good aggressive hug.
Not consented.
Yes, not
hug.
consented. Unconsented, aggressively hugged my younger sister's friends during college, and I was disowned by my family except Dad. Dad died, and my sister wants to reconnect all of us again. In case you guys are still confused, it's the R word, and it
Rhymes with grape.
rhymes with grape, looks like wrapped. Not the present kind, the singing kind.
I think they get it.
Psych, I'm messing. I'm the middle child. I have two sisters. One older. Oh, F older and M younger. Those are the names that I think they're going to use. I was never close to my older sister due to their age difference with me, but M are only a year apart, and she's my best friend. I'll be brutally honest and admit, when I was a freshman in college, I unconsensually, aggressively hugged M's friend. Under no situation am I trying to downplay it, since that day my mother and my younger sister permanently disowned me from their lives. It was also close to breaking point with my parents, as my mother forced my dad to disown me as well, but he couldn't, so I knew that I was the cause of them fighting during that time. I was kicked from college and was supposed to be sent to prison for my crimes, but my father bailed me out. He did a lot for this country, giving up most of his life for it, so I was spared prison. My mother and M were furious and demanded my dad just stopped helping me. I felt even worse and just decided to disappear from life. It was rough. It was a rough couple years, but it was more than what I deserved after what I did. At some point, my father knew where I was and randomly stopped by to see how I was doing. It had been an emotionally charged moment, and I broke down into him. I wished I was dead. I told him how I had no right to be upset because I committed one of the worst crimes anyone could do. Man, he's really playing up that he's a changed person, that he understands how bad this is. He helped pull me back to my feet in secret over the next few years. I was able to graduate with my bachelor's at a cheap local school, and my dad was the only one to show up. Again, this was in secret, as he didn't tell my family anything. Thinking about it makes me just want to break down and cry. I got a job making a modest $45,000 a year, which I still feel is more than someone like me deserves. I was slowly putting my life back together, but to this day, I still feel like I don't deserve any of it. Rent, food, clothes, etc.
You don't.
You guys heard it here first. I was paying for it on my own. My dad would stop by my place once a week if he could find the time to watch football. I found out later he lied to my mom about watching it with friends. It was just me. He would visit me a few days before my birthday to celebrate. He was worried if he met me on my birthday, my mom might suspect something. More years pass. I meet this girl I really like and I'm scared. On our second date, I tell her what I did just to be honest and let her know I'm not worth it and she can do better. She left the date. I knew it was over. I didn't expect her to come over the next day, but she did, and we talked through it. She's my wife now. My dad was the only witness at our court marriage from my side. I miss my father so much. He always told me he was proud of who I am, of who I became. He never lost hope in me. He was the only light in my life. I wanted to be like him as a boy. If it wasn't for him, I'd know I'd be dead. I named my son after his call sign from the military days, which made him laugh. I think about him every day and make every choice in my life asking myself, what would my father do? When my dad died, my wife encouraged me to go to his wake. I was scared, but I did it. My older sister hugged me tight, asking how I've been, and was generally nice. My younger sister didn't want to talk to me at first, but she eventually came around up to ask me basic questions. My mother wanted me out, didn't even want to look at me, and she told me she was in a really angry tone that she knew my father wasted his time with me, but she never had the heart to tell him that she knew. I didn't know what to do at this point, so I just left to leave my family in peace again. I only lost my dad, but to the three of them, he was much more than anything he was to me. It just didn't feel right staying there. Fast forward months. My older sister calls me, asks me how things are going, wants to catch up in person. Both of my sisters forgive me, something I didn't ask for. They want to meet my wife, my son. They said they regret not trying to talk to me sooner. I'm a little more comfortable with them right now, but nothing like how close we were as kids. I guess it's a lot to ask for. I recently found out that my mom is struggling with loneliness and loss since my dad died, and both of my sisters asked me to take her in for a few days a month so she can meet my son and wife. My sister said they'll convince my mom and for me to not worry about that part. They said they'd be more like my dad, or they said they'd be more like dad and want to do the right thing for the family. My wife is excited to meet my mom and already has a room ready for her. I'm scared out of my mind. I even tell my sisters if she comes, I'll be 100% comfortable if she would rather not be in the house while she's there, or while I am not in the house while she's there, and just let her play with the grandson. I don't know why I'm posting this anymore. Maybe I just wanted to vent out online and ask for a sign if I deserve a little happiness. I know my dad would be happy knowing my mom was playing with my son. Maybe he's in heaven helping too. I'm just so damn scared. Do I leave my mother alone? Do I say hi? How do I introduce her to my wife and son? Am I allowed to have my sins forgiven because my mom has every right to disown me after what I did?
I don't even know I don't know.
This is a rough one, guys. This is deep and emotional. There's silence in the studio.
Like
our technicians back there, silent.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's odd.
Yeah.
It's odd. Like, I felt like they not 100% atoned for it, but like, once again, because this is their perspective, because they're typing it, it seems like they've really like had a change of heart about life and all that other stuff.
I want to know what you've done to reconcile the damage that you've done to that girl.
Yeah. Most of this was about OP.
Right.
And not about like what happened.
Exactly.
With the girl and all that other stuff. I will say that dad's a goat.
Why?
Putting what the son did aside. Just being there emotionally for a broken person and trying to help them reconcile, still while maintaining the balance between son and family. It's very commendable of him.
His actions are commendable.
But the thing that makes this rough is just the actual action that happened.
Right.
And
like I said, it's very hard because we have one point of view and we're not condoning, obviously.
We would never.
And we're also not condoning his actions or, like, saying that he should deserve... I don't know. But I don't know. Like...
Yeah. I guess we'll put a question mark as the score, and we'll leave it up to you, the viewer.
Because, like I said, I want it all kind of depends on, like, what you've done to, like, I wonder if he's worked it out with the girl, like, what the situation was. Because I know that there's different situations. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We need more information to be able to create a consensus.
And not that it makes it any better. But, like, were they both drinking? Were they, like, you know what I'm saying?
What
like,
was the situation that led
right.
to the unconsensual aggressive hugging?
But like I said, it's never okay, and it's never, I don't know. It's just, there's not enough information. He kind of just talked about himself the whole time.
Talked about himself, really played up about how much he's learned and
right.
all that other stuff. So.
Which kind of, at times, felt a little forced.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Do you have one more?
I do.
All right. Final story
of the night.
Strap in. Make sure you got that water ready to hydrate, to spit it out at the most exciting part.
And this is called Serious. This is posted by valuable_price 6521. Would I be the butt face if I demanded to know who reported me to HR? I'm in my early 30s and male. In our office, I'm known as a bit of a jokester. Nothing mean, and I don't go out of my way to prank someone or hurt anyone's feelings, but I've had plenty of jokes and give a lot of silly nicknames. There's a newer woman in our office. She's in her early 20s, and she has a 3-year-old. They live in an RV. I'm sorry, I'm starting to laugh. I was starting to think about something. It's not the story. Anyway. They live in an RV park a few miles away from work, and I've nicknamed her RV Reba. I didn't see the harm. It's just a silly nickname. I've given silly nicknames to most of my coworkers. If anyone complains about it, I'll just explain I don't mean anything by it. It's just a silly thing I do, and there's no reason for them to be so offended. RV Reba wasn't thrilled with the nickname, said it was insulting, but I explained that it wasn't what I intended to do. It was just something silly I came up with. She asked me to stop using it. I don't use it around her much anymore, but I think it's a silly thing to get upset about. So, this person likes the word silly.
Yeah.
So I still use it around others. Well, someone reported me to HR. I got called into the meeting this morning and given a written warning to stop harassing my coworkers. I don't see how this is harassing at all. They're silly nicknames. I asked who reported me, and they said it was not just one person, but multiple complaints. RV Reba and a few others were getting coffee, and I wanted to know who reported me. RV Reba said that she didn't know RV Reba said she didn't know what was glad they spoke. This person messed up the sentence. I'm assuming they mean RV Reba didn't know, but was glad they spoke to me about it since I wasn't listening to them after asking me to stop. I think it was probably her and one of the other 2 coworkers who never can take a joke. I want to know exactly who it was, though. A few coworkers said I already the butt face and should let it go. But I really want to know who reported me. Would I be the butt face if I demanded who reported me to know who reported me?
You're the butt face for continuing to do it
in the
after
story.
She stopped. Yeah. In the story, still in person when she's not around. Like.
Yeah, you sound like a complete.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 because multiple people told you to stop.
He sounds like a finance bro. It's like, bro, it's a joke.
Yeah, bro, chillax. It's just a joke, bro.
I guarantee he has a mustache.
Yep. Well, everybody, that about does it for episode 13. We had some laughs, some cries,
some really hard situations,
some really tough decisions that you, the viewer, have to decide down below in the comments. So please go down there right now and tippity type it out.
Oh my god, Jordan, you are totally right in the situation. Oh my god, Jules, you totally suck about the situation.
You know, just whatever you guys are feeling. I was just spitballing a few ideas. Jules, any final words to the camera?
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Yes. Like, comment, subscribe, tell everybody you know about us. Please spread the word.
Let us know what you think about our sign that we introduced last episode.
Week. We left it on for a whole week.
Yes, we did.
Electricity
$17
bill went
Temu.
up. $17 on Temu. $1,000 electricity bill to keep it on for 2
Womp
weeks.
womp.
Anyway, that has been us here at Jordan and Jules Studios, and we will see you all in the next video.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Or good morning.
Or farewell.
Or good evening.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.